Okay, given the polynomial g of x equals negative 5x squared minus 7x minus 2, we need to evaluate g of negative 5. So it's very important in this one that we use parentheses to substitute in negative 5. So notice this negative 5 is in place of x, and so that's exactly where we're going to put it. So g of negative 5 equals negative 5. Notice I'm going to use parentheses for x squared minus 7, parentheses for the x, minus 2. And then we're going to put negative 5 in for each x. Now the reason why it's so important to do parentheses is because if we have negative 5 in parentheses squared, what that tells me is that I have negative 5 times negative 5. That negative 5 is the number repeated. If I have negative 5 times a negative 5, that will equal a positive 25. Now let's say we didn't use parentheses, I just have negative 5 squared. Well, what this tells me is the number that is repeated is the 5, not a negative 5. The negative is just there once, so the negative would just be out front, and then it would be just 5 times 5, which would equal then a negative 25. So it's super important that you use the parentheses. Okay, let's go ahead and solve this. We're going to use order of operations. So first, parentheses. There's nothing to simplify inside parentheses, so we'll move on to exponents. Make sure you don't multiply first. In this case, in this problem, it happens to not make a difference because you've got, actually no it does! What am I talking about? If we multiplied that first, we'd get 25 squared. And so it does make a difference. So yeah, make sure you do the exponents before you multiply. It will completely change the problem, okay? So we have negative 5. Negative 5 squared is negative 5 times negative 5, or a positive 25. Negative 7, well, let's wait, we'll do that next step. We could multiply that because it's not connected, but we'll wait. So negative 5 times 25 is negative 125. Negative 7 times negative 5 is plus 35, and then minus 2. So negative 125 plus 35, we get a negative 90. Minus the 2, negative 90 minus 2, we get negative 92 for our final answer. So notice, like I was saying, if you multiplied that negative 5, what would have happened? You would have gotten a positive, so you would have, if you would have done, let me just write this here. If we would have multiplied first, so negative 5 times negative 5, we get 25 squared, which gives us 625. And all of a sudden you can see we are way on the wrong track. So it really is important to use order of operations every single time to make sure you're evaluating the problem correctly.